Okay, says we're live. There we go. Got it.
We got it. Let me get rid
I
of.
think so. I'm just going to start talking anyways because we are
Yeah,
a little bit
please
late.
do. You're
Apologize for
live.
that. Yeah,
We're live.
we're a little bit late, so we apologize for that. Catherine and I were having a little private conversation, but we wanted to jump on today as we do every Wednesday at 6 to say hello to our community. Hello, community. Hey, Sage Navigators. Yeah, Catherine and I have something we kind of accidentally fell into this conversation earlier today, talking about how we don't know our neighbors anymore. And I'm going to just jump in and ask, oh, my video is a little bit off. Am I stuck, Catherine?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, just tell me and I'll put my camera off for a minute if
No,
I
no,
have to.
it's perfect. You're great.
Okay. So we were talking about, I don't know whether it's COVID related. I don't know whether it's age related because I'm at a stage now where we were saying when our kids are young, you kind of get to know your kids' friends' parents, whether it's through volunteering at the school, whether it's through, sports. For us, we did a lot of hockey. So I was a hockey mom and I met a lot of other hockey families, and there was carpooling and potlucks and fundraisers and all of these things that kept us busy and social. Yeah, I don't have that anymore. I don't even have to drive my kid to his hockey arena anymore. So we're talking about, do you know your neighbors? And I actually moved to a new neighborhood in a smaller town than in my original small town. And, I think the town has 1,200 people total. We're all on about 1 acre lots. My closest neighbor is an acre away. So do I know my neighbor? I wave to my neighbor, as I drive past my neighbor. His name is Eric. I did meet him in the summertime. But anyways, we were talking about this. Do you know your neighbors, Catherine? You live in a different environment. You're in a condo.
I actually have to share that I love how you started this because I've always had a lot of friends. Like for Christmas Eve, it wasn't all my family. I'd have 30 people show up, some that I was at
I love
karate
that.
with, somebody. It was just an open door, like very Irish. And put a candle in the window, and whoever shows up, the door's open. And very Newfoundlander as well for my husband. So, what I'm going to share is as you raise your children, it's another example, and I don't mean it in a negative way, of losing yourself, because we give away our time with our friends. Our friends, we don't give away our family because they just don't allow that to happen. But they sort of stick around through what we're doing. But we give that's a part of ourselves we give away. And we can do it because our friends do the same thing. And I noticed many, many years ago, like I was one of the people that I had my son at 41. Many of my friends had their children at late 20s, 30s. So not only did I give them when I started with David, but they gave up on me because, well, she's not going to want to come. We have children. You don't, it's not that you don't have anything in common. It's that you
No. Right.
think you don't. You think, oh, well, they have children, I don't. Or they think more, well, we're busy with the children. It really is irrelevant. What is relevant is then we start and create this life with these beautiful human beings because our kids are from us and they attract friends that are like them who have parents that are like us. And next thing you know, your social is like Pia, who I talk about all the time, or
I feel like I
Columba,
know her.
all the friends, yeah, all the friends, and they know you. All the friends I have, if they're not business, are really Karen. We know Karen. I know Willem, her son, from David's school. So from
Right.
school or from hockey and the higher level that your child is involved, whether that's in a sport or in education, when they're in that top tier of school because they choose to work very hard, or they're in the whatever they're doing, they're more involved because they're immersed in what they're doing. Not
Yeah,
like
there's a
they,
bigger commitment, I think.
thank you. Good. Well, you put words so well. Absolutely. Bigger commitment, and we're invested in them.
Can
And
be. Can be. Yeah.
and we're there. And then all of a sudden, so is it age? Partially. Is
Yeah.
it where we're at? Partially, because I'm at a very different age than you. I'm 64. You're like 50. Big difference
Yeah, but
in,
your son just moved away, so for the first time. So I'm only a year behind you when it comes to the stage of having no children at home anymore.
I have friends that are grandparents.
I
So
know,
at
so do
different,
I.
yeah, I know. It's just, so the whole thing is, I don't see age, which we always talk about. So we're talking social. That's what we're getting
Yeah,
back to.
yeah.
And
Social pillar.
now we turn around and we end up, we're very polite. We meet at the grocery store and we know, we're not friends with the cashier, but we sure know who the cashier is. We know that who they are and what they do. And the person that serves us coffee, we're social there. But you know what we forget? We forget that we don't really know the people. We don't get to know them. We have superficial relationships that we're lucky we can even say hello to. And in social media, like in groups, like
Oh, that's
Dockside,
another thing. Yes,
let's
I think
go.
that's
Let's
another
take
contributor.
that on. That's like,
Well, I think it's another contributor as to why our social lives have changed. So I said age plays a role, I think. Stage of your life plays a role, I think. COVID played a role. I think we all got very comfortable staying home in a way that we probably wouldn't have, at least not that aggressively or not that quickly, embrace that type of lifestyle. And then to your point, social media. I can't tell you how many times I'll run into somebody that I feel like I have had a relationship with, a recent interaction with, but I realize I'm saying out loud, so nice to see you off of my phone screen. Because I realize I haven't actually seen them in person in I don't know how long.
exactly.
So social media makes us feel like we're connected.
And we join these communities, so we feel we have a social life with them.
Yep.
But yet we'll make the odd comment on something they post. We don't engage.
But it's funny, do you not feel a little bit like you're keeping up with some of those friends? I feel like, oh, you had a birthday, or oh, your son got married, or oh, this happened. Like I feel like that, but without
Like
social
an
media.
observer.
Yeah. You're right.
Observer. I'm looking, but I never really see. I don't see that maybe you're struggling,
Of course.
that your son or daughter just got married and that was the last one leaving home. I don't see that because all I see is the happy. And that's the other thing about social media. People are putting all the happy things. So you don't get to see, oh, yeah, well, what do they know about hard times? Well, we all get our dose of good and bad, happy and sad. We all get that. And that's what I love. If you're in Dockside,
Well,
get to know people.
yeah, and I think
comment.
that's what we're trying to say. Even though it might feel a little bit not artificial, that's definitely not the word I'm looking for, but the reason why we started Dockside and the reason why, frankly, we started Sage Navigation was to bring together, I say like-minded people. I know some people don't love that phrase because it makes it sound like we're all robots and we're all programmed the same way. That's not what I mean at all. I just mean in Sage Navigation, we're mostly women. I will do a shout out to Jean because he's a huge part of our community, but then there are other men and men are welcome. But there is something about being around women that I feel for my personal life journey, I need that. I need the motivation. I need the energy. I need the kindness. I need the safety. And I don't know whether anybody, I think so.
Yes.
I think so. I think it's a huge value to know that this community exists, our community exists, and it's a safe place for people to be. Like just even to be, whether it's in a small amount or a large amount. That's what we wanted to get the message across. We're here for each other. And so learning about each other, getting to know each other, and having, deeper conversations. What do we say? Meaningful and meaningless conversations. Even the fact that you are now able to host people in person, we're trying to get people together more often in person in Montreal, and hopefully here in Northumberland County, and maybe in Toronto, maybe out west someday, maybe on a cruise someday, who knows? But these are things that we want to create because I think people need them. I really do.
So tonight, at one point between today and tomorrow, and I got vulnerable. I put a picture that I was dressed as a clown. I love life. So I would love if every single person that's in our community posts something, doesn't have to be so personal, something about representative of who they are. And it doesn't even have to be who you are today. It could have been when you were 5 years old, but something about you, just something like, I'm going to tell you who I am. And this is may sound, I am grateful and I miss my mom and dad. And I'm grateful for them. I love the memories, but sometimes I'm lonely, wishing I could hold their hand. And I don't think I'm alone. So I'm saying to you, I'm not asking you, don't be negative, just be real.
Yeah.
Just be real. Because your real may just allow us to bring something to you. Like in our first intro to vision mapping, I was able to share Napoleon Hill's voice when he said, and let's say it to everybody here, if you're listening to this, then this message is for you. You are wonderful. And that's it. And I can't wait to know more about you.
Just talking, you made me realize it. I wrote it down. Being open so that you can welcome new ideas, new messages, new people, like just being open. You don't have to be different. You don't have to change your personality. You don't have to act any differently. Just be open and see what happens.
Karine, we were delivering our Q&A last night, and you delivered a phenomenal thing on the digital version of vision boards. I loved it.
It is fun.
And people are doing it. I talked to one of our community, and she's excited playing with it. So
it's a lot of fun.
I won't call her out her name.
No, we didn't ask her.
I guess what I want to say as well is you never know where things come. So we were asked a question about why do you keep the vision board in the center open? And for me, and for you, and for Sage, it's, well, that's about you. Put a picture there, put a something there. But we said, no, put nothing there. Put it there with nothing to leave space for more to come. Because, and it wasn't like we planned to do that, but because somebody in the community asked a really interesting question, because somebody else had a comment that was interesting. I took all the stuff, you took all the stuff, and we said, wait a minute, this is the benefit of it. And if somebody doesn't share their insight, somebody doesn't ask the question, we don't share that. We have no reason to think about it. So every time somebody shares, everybody benefits from.
Totally agree.
So thank you for asking questions. Thank you for sharing. And
really, we want others to. That is like our big message here. Like, please share. Like, sometimes it's a question, sometimes it's a comment, sometimes it's just a hello. It's just
an emoji. An emoji.
Yeah, an emoji. An emoji. Mine's always a smiley face.
I like the clovers.
Yeah, and the pink heart. I do a lot of pink hearts too.
So everybody, we will be back to talk about Think and Grow Rich at 6:45. And then book club comes tonight. It's not too late to join. And please
come to book club. It is honestly like, it is so great. It is so great because frankly, and I'm going to be very honest to our audience right here, and I'm looking at the time. You learn by not doing anything. Like, you really don't even have to read. Like, you don't really have to be like, you know, a bookworm or somebody who even loves to like get into debate. Like, none of that. You can just listen and like, you'll get a little nugget of something and you'll keep it forever. Like, it's a gift. Like, it's literally like Christmas every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock in my books.
Oh yeah, I love it. So
yeah.
Have a wonderful, I'll see you soon.
Okay, I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.